Alrighty, so, welcome to the Wednesday afternoon stream. I'm your host, Apartflower39. Today I'll be streaming Dungeons and Dragons alone. No friends. Me, myself, and I. Yeah, so, alright. Yeah, it's in the afternoon right now, so I could speak a bit more freely. And along with that, I'm also... No, I'm still sick. Yeah, no, I'm still sick. I was gonna say, I'm feeling better now. Nope. I am not feeling any better in terms of my nostrils. So you have to deal with me stepping away every now and then. Alright, so for most part, the last we left off, if I'm reading my notes I took correctly, we just started our adventure. Our main leading hero, Rex, has currently left his home, traveling along the Blackford Road. His plans in the future? He doesn't know. It's unknown. But the short term is to find a bit of a safe harbor, that being in a nearby town or city, in this case, Luskan, but he doesn't know the local geography, so we'll just say he doesn't know. That being said, he did encounter along the way a paladin, a novice paladin, who had been beset by a set of wolves. 2 wolves to be exact. They got the drop on him, and while he tried to fight them off, he survived. But he was badly wounded by the end of it. Still though, this paladin survived. His name is Xander. And currently, the two have paired up to take on a mission that Xander was already on the road for. That being to resolve a curse that is supposedly at Humble Hill. The Church of Shanti has requested and put a bounty out for the assistance of their local Sister of Earth, who is investigating the reports of the curse that has beset the hamlet of Humble Hill. The two spent a day traveling, to which I did not do any encounters outside of the initial one. To which, upon arriving to Humble Hill, the pair of Rex and Xander were not so much greeted, but were pretty much acknowledged by the local inhabitants of Humble Hill, in the sense that their presence was acknowledged and the like. So let me just clear up my... Right now I'm doing some cleaning up of my... There we go. So yeah. So they were pretty much greeted with suspicion and varying levels of distrust, which makes sense given the fact that the current person that's supposedly here to help, a sister of Shanti, isn't really doing much helping. And so they're kind of sort of wary of strangers for some reason. Why that may be so? I don't know. But the point remains, though, that currently they're not open to outsiders right now. And so, yeah. After meeting the Sister of Earth, Liana, who is clearly under a lot of stress, she has asked for the two pair, Rex and Xander, to hopefully get more information than she could. While she is a sister and the locals have come to her with their plight, they are still not willing to be forthcoming of a lot of things. And so a more pressured hand may be required. And so, this is where we last left off. Give me a sec to just... I've spoken to some of the locals, and while some have been forthcoming about their thoughts, others have not been as... Let me see here. Others have not done the same. Let me see here. Others have not. I've been unable to fix the issue at hand. Please, if you can look into this matter, look into it further than I could. It'll be most appreciated. Alright. So. Give me a second, I'm sitting on some stuff. Alright. So, let's see. Fuck. Alright, I'll deal with that later. Alright, let's see here. Rex and Xander leave where Sister Leanna was staying. The two? Alright. So Rex and Xander will leave where Sister Leanna is staying. I'm just gonna say what they're gonna do first, and then afterwards I'll write it down. So the two will step out from where she was staying, that being likely a longhouse. And the two will turn to each other and pretty much say and agree that we need to split up a bit. You know, I'll cover this section of the hamlet and the others will. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah. The two will split up, at least not so much in the sense that they'll be like far apart, but they're gonna pretty much divide the hamlet in half and question each other and question the locals here. Alright, so that's what they're gonna do. The two will split up and divide the hamlet to question the locals in the locals. Alright, so it's obvious that, you know, with the two of them arriving, there's a great deal of suspicion that's pretty much going around for them, right? Because clearly Sister Leanna, like I said, she has not really helped in the matter of her presence being in her presence of being here. She's helped out in the way that's like, yeah, you know, she's cured, she's helped like the symptoms, but the source of it is still not really, you know, it's not really great, you know? So let's see here. Let's roll 3 descriptor. Let's roll 3 elements here. So let me see here. What is it? We'll do this for each individual for, well, at the very least between Rex and Xander. So I will roll to see what they'll be dealing with exactly. So let's see here. Let's start with Rex because he's the leading character. Alright, Rex would approach some locals. Let's see here. Let's roll 3 D100s, I guess, then. Let's do this, yeah, so let's do 3 D100s. So let's see if this will... Okay. 72, 73, and 18. So I'm going to go with the... So specifically, I'm going with... Oh, shit, what was it? Where was it? Characters, conversation, and personality. So let's see. We're going to do this in order. So 72. Reassuring. Okay. Alright. So 72. Reassuring. 73. Mocking. Okay, let's... And what was the last one? Personality. So 18. Careful. Alright, so I'm gonna divide these up a little bit. So in this case, we have. Well, actually, let me see here. Let's roll a d4. Let's see how many people Rex will talk to. 3. Okay, so I'll just say one of them will be. Alright, so I'm gonna say that at least one of these will suit the criteria of mocking, because I feel like having it majority mocking is not gonna really be helpful. So, 72 reassuring, 73 mocking, 18 careful. So, let's see here. Rex would approach some locals. Interacting with some locals. One would... Alright, so one would be reassuring. So, one would be, let's say, let's say an elderly old man. For most part, his presence is a reassurance to the locals. For most part, he is going to be, I'm trying to think off the top of my head right now. So, yeah, he's going to be just like one of the more reliable elders and the like of this hamlet. He's gonna pretty much explain like, it's like, crops have not been doing so well lately. You see, we've not, in the last fortnight, we've not had much good harvest nor fortune with this plague besetting us. Are you here to help, good adventurer? Yes, I am. Can you possibly tell me what could have caused this? All right, let's go something like that. So, an old man. All right, so one of the elders of this hamlet. He would explain the broad detail, the broad aspects of the problem. Yeah, the broad aspects of the problem. But not the detail, as he is cautious of Rex. Let's see if Rex has... I think with the conversation, Rex, with his passive perception at this point, because he's level 1, and this adventure is meant for level 1 characters, he's able to pick up on the fact that the old man is wary about him. Rex would pick up on the fact... And I'm going to say he's going to attempt a persuasion check. Alright, let's see here. At this point in time, it's a level 1 adventure, so I'm going to say DC is just going to be a flat 10. So DC, because level 1, 10. You're just expecting to meet it. So let's roll persuasion. Ooh, 12. Alright. Alright. Okay, so, with that persuasion check being a pass... Alright, so with that persuasion check being a pass... The old man hearing Rex's words... Or, let me see here. So, his persuasion... Alright, so his persuasion would pretty much be something along the lines of like... He's like, please, I'm here to help I'm here to help out. If you can tell me what possibly could have been the source of the issue, we could get this done faster, and you can get back to daily life here. Alright, so yeah, it's like that. So the old man will think thoughtfully for a moment. Before then answering Rex with... So, let me think of the dialogue right now, because this is now going off of what the... Yeah, this is now going off of what the other stuff is. So, let's see. So, the old man will relay this. So, some time ago we had purchased this miracle growth fertilizer from a traveling alchemist. Trying to remember his name, but he was a halfling, if I remember correctly, with his size and the like. I'm afraid I don't know much more than that. It's been some time, for me. Alright, so... Okay, so let's write that down. Alright, some time ago we purchased... Some time ago we purchased a growth fertilizer in hope to gain... in hopes to yield more for the upcoming harvest. But some time ago we purchased a growth fertilizer in hopes to yield more for the upcoming harvest. But unfortunately, be the case. The merchant... I recall the merchant was a traveling alchemist, but his name escaped... But the name escapes me. Alright, so, got that down now. Rex would nod at old man and thank him for his time. He would then question another local. Alright, so we need something to fit the mocking criteria at the very least. So let's just say for this criteria, it's this bowdy fucking kid type character. You know, fucking like teenager type. Yeah, the teenager type character. Alright, another local. A teenager with a cocky smile. A teenager with a cocky smile. Rex would ask if he knew anything about the merchant the old man mentioned. Alright, the local youth would spurn him with a mocking gesture before cackling out. I'm trying to think. What would a youth in the Forgotten Realms be like? Fucking, like, say to a guy like this, just some wizard in a ratty ass robe. Yeah, you know, let's just come up with something generic and asinine. Let me think off the top of my head. I gotta tap into my dipshit right now. Oh, look! A ratty ass wizard come. Can't say it like that now. I'm trying to think. Yeah, jeez. Alright, so I'm trying to think. The local youth would spurn Rex with a mocking gesture before cackling out. Let me think. Oh, look, everyone! Oh, look, everyone. The traveling disheveled wizard's asking me a question. Thought you wizards knew all sorts of stuff. Yeah, something like that. Something. Let's go with that. Alrighty. Yeah, so look, yeah. Oh, look, everyone, the traveling disheveled wizard's asking me a question. Thought you wizard types were smart and studied. Unlike us peasants. Let's see. In this point, I will... Alright, so for the most part, this will be, let's see. Rex. Rex, while initially annoyed, will... Rex, while initially annoyed, will ask again for any information about... Alright, so Rex, while initially annoyed, will ask again for any information about the merchant that passed through. The youth, once again, would try his hand, would wag his tongue in mockery. Oh, jeez. I really gotta come up with a way to, like, come up with, like, bullshit insults, because this is, like... jeez. Give me a sec. Let me think. We already went with the disheveled wizard. So let me think. What's something that's about Rex, yeah? Yeah, let's do it with the or what. Alright, so. Or what, wizard? What are you gonna do to me? Make me into a toad? Make me into... Make me into a toad? Turn me into a newt? Alright, so let's see here. Let's go with that again. Again, I'm not really good with at least insults in the sense of like, oh, what am I gonna do with just like nothing to go off of immediately. Alrighty, so... Or what, wizard? Gonna make me into a toad? Make a newt to get an eye? Alright, this is where I'm gonna declare wisdom check. This isn't really so much to, like... I'm gonna make this a bit more difficult. So this, because the youth is now getting the Rex a bit. And I'm gonna say that this has been going on for, like, a few minutes now. This is a DC 12 check. Let's go. Yay, 17. Yeah. I should remark as well that I'm using specifically for Rex a dice rolled stat block. So this is actually something that came up through dice rolls. So yeah, this is what came up on dice rolls, and this was like the first set. I was gonna do this on D&D Beyond, but to save up on time, yeah, this is what I'm doing instead. But yeah, so as you clearly see here, 2 17s, 2 15s, 1 12, and a 14. It's pretty cool, to be honest. Nice stat set right there. Not too high, but not too low either. Normally you would want to get like a 14, but still, this is nice. Alrighty, so... Alright, so... Rex feeling his temper flaring. What the fuck? Rex feeling his temper flaring would then look at the youth. Eh? Alright. Rex feeling his temper flaring would then firmly look at the youth and would clearly explain and clearly and concisely. Let's see here. What is the most defining moment here? Alright, so I'm going to declare that the... Let me see here. So I'm going to declare that the DC... Yeah, normally with this going on, I would say that it's likely going to be DC 14, but yeah, no, it's probably gonna be like DC 12 at least, because this fucking dipshit kid is just like unwilling to friggin' whatever. Unless maybe I could use a spell to that'd be funny. Just start threatening him. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so, yeah, just explain to him firmly and concisely. I need to know what you know. I need to know what you know, because if the Hamlet goes under, you're out of... Alright. I need to know what you know, because if the Hamlet goes, you're out of home and out of the wilds. Let it be known known now. Alright. I need to know what you know, because if the Hamlet goes, you're out of a home. You're out of a home and out in the wilds. Let it be known now that the wilds aren't forgiving. Just ask my paladin friend. And I'm gonna say, this is with advantage now, because the paladin's being used as a example, and while he's healed now, the armor still bears the marks of battle, I'll say. So that's what I'll be constituting. This will be DC 12. Yeah, DC 12. So this will be with advantage. So let's see here. 17 and let's see, 5. Alright. So 17 pass. Alright, so DC 12 advantage, 17 persuasion pass. The youth would look at Xander across the hamlet and would see the marks of wolf bites on his armor, and yeah, on his armor. Alright, the youth would look at Xander across the hamlet and would see the marks of wolf bites on his armor. Shuddering in fear, he would spill. Alright. I don't want to take a hint. The merchant, huh? Well, as the old man said, he's a traveling alchemist. Halfling from what I know. The name escapes me too, though. Something about Gaunt or something. That's all I can tell you. Alright, let's go with that. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's see here. Alrighty, so let's see here. Alright, it's like, alright, I could take a hint. The merchant, the old man said, was an alchemist, but I don't know his name either, just the name of Gaunt. Rex would nod, and carry on to the last person. Alrighty, I'm just gonna say that, to which there's not gonna be much information given other than that. To which the information they would give will not be as he'd hope. I'm gonna say that Rex and Xander rally. Alright, so Rex and Xander regroup at the center of the hamlet. I'm gonna roll now for the reaction for Xander. So let's see here. I'm not gonna do one by one like Rex, but I am gonna at the very least do, given the due diligence of actually having some sort of like the same quarry he had to go through. So let's see here. This is again 3d10s for character appearance, conversation, and personality. So let's see here. What does Xander get? 31. Eyewear. So I guess scholarly dude, local scholarly dude, I guess. 4. Agree. Must be an agreeable mood. And 9. Anxious. Okay, so I guess record keeper. So let's see here. 31. Eyewear. 4. Agree. And 9. Anxious. Alright, let me put down Xander interaction. Alright, Xander interaction is who he talked to. Rex and Xander regroup at the center of the hamlet. As the two exchanged information, they cited a potential source of the issue. Xander would recount to Rex his interaction with the local record keeper. Alright, so Xander would recount his interaction with the local record keeper. He would be told that after making a purchase from the traveling alchemist, Gaunt, that the problems with their crops, disease, and the problems with their crops, disease, and livestock started happening shortly after. Alright. So, real quick, quick conversations, like Xander, did you find anything? I managed to get something. Why don't you start, Rex? I talked to one of the locals, old guy. Told me that... Let me see here. Old man was wary, but still, he told me that they purchased some growth fertilizer. Something about getting more yield before the upcoming harvest, but clearly, with things looking so desolate, that's not gonna happen. He got something down though. A traveling alchemist that they bought it from. Some punk kid tried to make a joke out of it, but I made it clear about what it was at stake. The kid didn't know the name, but did get something out of it. Gaunt. What about you, Xander? Well, I got something from the local bookkeeper as he was among some of the locals as they were questioning him. Oh, jeez, give me a second. Managed to track down the day they bought it, and it was about from what the record showed about 2 weeks ago, so a week before Sister Leanna arrived. The problems happened about 2 days after the fact of purchasing, so we got a time. So we got a time and a day. Alright, so, yeah. The two would bring this information to Sister Leanna. Who would? Let's see here. Alrighty. Alright, so. Alright, so. The two would bring this information to Sister Leanna, who would process the information given to her. She would look at the two. She would then look at the two and say, let's see, what would she say? Gods be praised. Oh wait, no, give me a sec. Shanti be praised. Shanti be praised. A solution. Still, this gaunt character. It's not likely they've gotten far from here. In fact, on my way into Humble Hill, I did spot some smoke coming nearby that wasn't by the village, or wasn't by the hamlet. It's likely he's still in the region, and given that this miracle growth that was given to the hamlet, it's likely he wanted to see more of the results. Do you happen to know where the location would be, sister? I'm afraid I don't remember clearly, as by the time I arrived on Humble Hill, it was dark. But I'm sure if you're thorough enough in your investigation, you may be able to track down where this gaunt character is. He couldn't have been too far. Alrighty then. Guess we have our work cut out for us, Sander. Indeed. We should get to work soon. The better we catch this miscreant, the better. Alright. So, now that we've gotten that taken care of. Alright, let's see here. So, I'm just going to write down what I pretty much said. We'll look at the two and say. Alright, so the fertilizer's been causing this. I'll begin preparations to rectify what's been done to it. Along with the townsfolk. You two to track down this gaunt. Alright, so was the fertilizer causing this? I'll begin preparations to rectify what's been done, along with looking after the townsfolk. If I might ask you to track down this gaunt character and bring them to justice, if possible, along with a solution. Take heed of this. on my way into town. Okay. All right, so alrighty. Rex understanding. Rex and Xander understanding. Search nearby. Alrighty, so they will begin shortly thereafter. So, each character needs to make a DC 15 investigation check. Because there's 2 characters, and because there's no one else to arbitrate this, I'm just gonna say that it's just gonna be 1. Yeah, it's just gonna be 1. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's gonna be 1 flat check instead. So, yeah. So it's just gonna be 1 check instead, as it's just gonna be the 2 of them for the time being. So let's see here. It's a DC 15. And because I gave the context that Sister Leanna spotted smoke, not from town, but it was like outside, they will be looking on the outset of it. So, investigation check. So let's see here. So if so if it's a failure, then you counter 1 of 4 of these. Okay. So yeah, so let's just start this then. Ooh, is that no? That's not enough. 1 short. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's 1d4. So let's see here. 3. What did I get? Hostile pair of toughs. What? The fuck are toughs? They got pack tactics too. Fuck. Okay, so let's go with a generic grass field. So let's see here. Delete these clowns. Alright, do I have the toughs now? It's a pair of toughs, so I imagine it's like, I'm gonna assume that if this was like a full player squad, this would be like full on proper, like it's like a match of sorts. But toughs, huh? 32. Alright, so let's start this then. Add all tokens. Oh, did I not? Let me see here. Is this going off of just their straight dexterity? Let me double check, because I want to make sure I'm not, doing this. Let's see, is this? Okay. Alright, okay, so I'm gonna, alright, so this is me now screwing up things a bit more. So, as Rex and Xander are searching the local area, they find a pair of toughs. Alright. Searching the local area, Rex and Xander find a pair of humanoids on the outset of Humble Hill. Observing them quickly makes it evident that they are not friendly. Upon spotting them, I'm not sure. Let me double check. What the fuck do toughs do? Let me see. Like, well, obviously they're like whatever, right? Let's see here. What do they? Do they have like? Do they let out like a rah type of thing? You know, it's like what do they do? They speak common. Speak fucking common. That's it. Let's see here. May work. All right. All right. Upon spotting them, the two would turn, weapons in hand, initiating combat. Alright, let's go with that, yeah. Alright, now this is where we actually... Oh boy. Yeah, not bad. Alright. Okay, so, two toughs, huh? Let's see. So just make sure alright, so everyone's in a square. So Xander is first. Xander will step forward to here. Alright. Maybe we should play some music, yeah? Let's see here. Give me a sec. Let me get some YouTube up, yeah? Alright. Let me see here. Which one is long enough? Let's see here. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do this. Let me see. Is there a loop function on this thing that I'm missing? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out a little bit. Yeah, you know, why not? Let's just use this. Yeah, I'm legitimately trying to look for like a... Yeah, let me just reduce down the volume. So, I'm probably gonna get copywritten for this shit, but why not? I'm just gonna write down some stuff. Combat start. Rex HP 8. Xander HP. I think it's like what, 38 I think at this level. Double check. 28, okay. And combined total, the toughs have 32 HP. So that means these boys have like a beefy fucking like 62 H or 64 HP. So these beefy fuckers are gonna be my adversaries here. Alrighty. Alright. Let's start, I guess. Yeah, sure. Alright, so. Let's knock that down a bit, yeah? It lasts for 2 minutes. After that stunning silence. Alright. The toughs will focus onto Xander. The first one will attempt to push forward and will attack with his mace. Let's see. Nope. That will hit for 8. Oh, fuck, I forgot. I couldn't, you know, whatever. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Damn it, I could have done ready action. Fuck. Sloppy indeed. You know, nah, it's already passed. Alright. Second tough. We'll make the same attempt, but because now there's 2 of them together, he's gonna do the same thing. Oh wow, that's a miss. Holy shit. There's no loop option for this, I'm afraid. Ha! Yeah, it's gonna be dead silence from here on out, boys. Yeah. Unless I get like a longer loop. Yeah. For the time being, we'll just sit in slumbering silence. Yeah. Alright, so the second tough will miss, even with advantage. So, yeah, okay. It's now Rex's turn. To which, he's got the distance and everything. Let's see here. Let's do some magic shit, yeah? Let's do the most reliable thing we can do. I cast Magic Missile. So let me see here. How many darts is there? 3 glowing magic darts. 1d4 plus 1 damage. So, yeah, Magic Missile. We'll do it on the one that failed to... Well, actually, no. Let's do it on the one that did hit. Okay, so that's... Yep, that's 5. That's 4. And that is... Okay, wow, that is 14. First tough will take 14 points of damage. I'm impressed for a level 1 magic missile. Yeah. We'll raise his hand. Alright, Rex will raise his hand and from... Actually, no, wait. Raise his focus and channeling... Yeah, Rex will raise his focus and channeling... And channeling magic into it will fire a... would it be a set or a trio? Yeah, let's do it with a trio. A trio of magic missile to hit one of the toughs. It will hit vital. It will hit vital areas. Alright, so this tough, let me see here. So, yep, there we go. Let me see. 38. I think, let me see. I think that's 50 right now. So, 50. Alright, round 2. Back at the top. Top of the order. Oh, yeah, that's right. He took 8 damage. Give me a sec. Forgot to apply that. There we go. And now that leaves him down with... Oop. So that leaves him with 20 HP. So, Xander is back at the top of the order, and with this one looking pretty bad, what he'll do is use, let me see, I think he could use Smite, couldn't he? I have 3 Divine Smites. What the fuck is this? Why do I have... I think I do know why I have like 3 Divine Smites, because I fucking... Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Do I actually get one for free and then afterwards I have to like use a spell slot? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's why. So, and then afterwards I have to apply more. So, alright. So, let's see here. Yeah, so this one's the one for long rest, and the other one is... Okay, so... Alright, so with... So seeing the tough that struck him is injured, Xander will use his longsword and attempt to attack and land a smite. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember. So this is like 12 AC, yeah? So let's see if he can beat it. Ah, no! Fuck! Alright. Alright, so... Oh, fuck. Alright, yeah. That's unfortunate. Alright, let me see. Yeah, no, there's nothing more Xander can do, I don't think. He's still got bonus action, but the smite would have been used for bonus action, but... because it didn't land, I don't think it would have caused the restart. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, in either case. Yeah, in either case. So, yeah, so that'll miss. The tough. What's the stat block again for its intelligence? 10. And wisdom of 10. Okay, so... Let's see. Does he go after Rex, who is now given it pretty much... has pretty much taken a chunk of his health and used his range attack? Or does he focus on Xander, who he will have advantage on? Let's see. I'm going to roll to see how intelligent he is in this scenario, as clearly Rex is now demonstrating to be a bit more of a threat. But if he remains here, Xander will be with advantage attacked on next. Let's see, I'm gonna roll a D10. I'm gonna roll a D20 to see how smart he is. 8. Damn it, I should have declared as well whether if it was high or low. I'm gonna roll again to see. So high roll, he will go after, he will remain with Xander. Low roll, he will go after Rex. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so he will go after Rex. Alright. So, yeah, so the thing is here is that line of sight needs to be made. However, I don't think he would want to break the advantage bit. That being said, yeah, no, so this is because Xander is within proximity, this is a ranged attack, and so this is going to be a disadvantage. So, let's see here. Ooh, but that's going to hit. Even with disadvantage. Shit, okay. 3 points. Oh my god. Oh! Oh! Ooh! 3 damage on a fucking wizard. That's already a lump sum already. Fuck! Alright, so the tough... Alright, so the tough would hit Rex. Actually, let me double check. Does Xander have a feat that would allow him to... Actually, no, I don't think... He needs to be within 5 foot specifically, so yeah. Its stand is 1. So yeah, its stand is 1, so that's what the... Yeah, okay, so... The tough would hit Rex with a bolt, but we're not... Alright, so, yeah. So now the second tough will now make the attack on Xander, and this is unfortunately with advantage again. 24 for 5. Alright. The second tough would focus on Xander and would... Yeah, so the second tough would focus on Xander and would hit them with their mace. So let's see here. Ooh, boy. Whew. Let's see here. So that... What was it again? 5 points of damage? So 5 points of damage inflicted onto Xander. So yeah. 5 points of damage. Monsters with high intelligence are considered intelligent enough to attack tactically. Oh, okay, thank you for that, then. Alright, so... Yeah, this is me trying to, make... I'm still figuring out a few things, but yeah, okay, so... Now it's a Alright, so then I'll just say that the intelligence check was to mostly see if you go after, then. So, yeah. So, alright, yeah. Alright, so let's see here. Hit with their mace. It's now Rex's turn. To which, to being hit, should he continue and use the last spell slot, or perhaps use a firebolt? I forgot to use fucking mage armor. Fuck. Alright, let's see here. Oh, jeez. Just 2 characters is all I got. Let's see here. Magic Missile, Firebolt. Magic Missile, Firebolt. Fuck it, Firebolt. Let's see it. Alright, that's 21 to hit. It's still D&D, you play as you want. Just mostly how DMs would play that way. Alright, yeah. Let's see here. What do I get? Ooh. Ooh! Ooh! That's a 9! Shit! Alright, so 9 points of damage beset upon the tough then. Alright. Alright. Rex, after being hit, would use his arcane focus to channel a bolt of fire. And with great velocity is what I'll say, as to why the damage is so high. With great velocity, the bolt will hit the tough square in the chest. Alright. Round 3. Top of the order again. Xander. Let's see. This tough is still standing. And right now he's currently got advantage on him. So this is what's gonna happen. The previous attempt was smite. So at this point it's just gonna be... Because this guy's pretty bloodied, I think, is definitely the term. Yeah, so I think... But then again... Fuck it, smite. Let's see, come on. Come on, come on! Yay! Yeah, what was it again for smite? You just gotta be applied with the damage, or is it like replace the damage? I'm trying to really remember that. Extra. Okay, extra. Actually, it's just fucking overkill. Okay. Yep, it's a good thing I declared smite as well. So this is going to take up a spell slot. Alright, so total. Yep, so 6, 8, yeah, the fucking dead. 6, 8, dead. Xander seeing the top. Alright, Xander seeing one of the toughs looking weak would channel divine fury through his sword with a fell let me see here, with one fell cut and let me see, would I want to do a divine explosion? Like, you know, like a miniature explosion, where it's like, you know how, like, Power Rangers got, like, the sparks coming out? Yeah. Yeah, sure, why not? With one fell cut and divine sparks across the body, the tough falls dead. So, yeah. There we go. Alright, so now it's the other guy now. So let's see here. Oh, crap, I forgot to track this guy's... Yeah, whatever. Whatever, I'm not freaking tracking that. Whatever. No. If this was writing, I'd be able to, but this is me typing it out, so I'm just doing what I got. Alright, so... Let's see, where is... There we go. Let's see, 15. So now this is just the tough with this straight roll, because there's no advantage now. So this is now just a straight roll. They will attempt to attack on Xander, but it will miss as... Alright, so yeah. The tough with... Second tough, seeing their pair and fall, will attempt to attack Xander, but is blocked in the attempt. Rex. Alright, so now, yeah, now it's Rex's turn. Rex will fire another firebolt again, but it will miss. Ooh, okay. Gotta love firebolt. Hit or miss. I guess you'll never miss, huh? Alright, so yeah. But... alrighty. Seeing their partner fall will attempt to attack Xander, but is blocked in the attempt. Rex will fire another firebolt, but the tough will move out of the way last second, because these rounds are like, yeah, these rounds are like 6 seconds each. Alright, round 4. So this tough is dead. Now we got this other tough. And so, yeah, currently, this is... yeah, it's right now with the Marshal. It's just tearing ass right now. So this is the first time it's taking damage. There's no smite on this one, so this will just be... yep, 12. Oof. Oof. And this is supposed to be for group, mind you. This is the 2 toughs are meant for group. So, yeah. Imagine if you just get TPK'd by toughs. Which is fairly possible because your highest health pool would have been like maybe 15? Xander will chase after the tough with a sword cut, badly wounding it. Alright, so 12 damage inflicted. To be honest though, because this is just like starter gear and without magic items, this is probably exactly how much damage you would be inflicting on the tough. Well, at least with a martial character. With a magic character, it varies. Again, mostly because at this point you just have magic missile or a few other stuff that you would have. Alright, so yeah. Alright, the tough, let's see here. It wants vengeance. It's out for blood, I'll say. So, yep. It will stand ground and try and grit teeth, but it's failing badly. Alrighty, so yeah, this. Alright, next. And then firebolt. Let's see. 13, that would actually hit. For 7 damage. Ooh, okay. 7 damage. Alright. Fire another firebolt in. Alright, so Rex would fire another firebolt. Alright, I'm gonna declare this now. The 2 characters will now make melee checks on each other, on the tough, to see if they actually kill it. Because at this point, its health is like kinda, it's really low. So at this point, it's just a matter of just like, it's like if they finish it in this round or not. So at this point, I'm just gonna say, yeah, let's see here. 22 for 6 points of piercing, and then there's no flanking rules, by the way. At the very least, for players. Alright, so let's see here. It had... yep, that's just enough. Alright, I'm just gonna put it down here. Alright, the last... Alright. With the last tough standing, Xander and Rex will look at each other, an understanding of what they'll likely do next to finish this thing off. Rex will draw a dagger, charge up to the tough, stab it in the gut, and the tough will be just like, "Ah!" and just like shove him off. But Xander will follow up with like a pommel, with a strike to the head with a pommel, before then finishing it with a cut, and then killing the tough, making this encounter effectively over now, because a cumulative damage that's here will pretty much match it. Alright. Alright. Yay! Alright, combat's over. 2 toughs down, and... 2 party members injured. Great. And we have no healer. Well, we do technically, but currently my paladin just literally has like... all he's got is lay on hands. I forgot to take a fucking healing spell. It's bullshit for me. Cause I got like 3 divine smites. I don't need 3 divine smites. I already have 1 and it's given to me. Okay, so let's see here. Alright. So combat ends. Yep. Alrighty. Okay, so with combat now at a close. The duo would fall back onto their hand as the battle was hard fought. Despite only facing 2 adversaries, the duo would fall back on their hands as the battle was hard fought. Despite only facing 2 adversaries, the strength shown was hard fought. I'm trying to think. What would these 2 banter about right now? But yeah, what would these 2 banter about as these 2 just pretty much just killed 2 toughs by their lonesome? Let's see. These were just... let's see. I'm trying to think. Toughs. Would they know? Actually, no. Alright. That was a labor. Let's go with that. Alright. That was a labor for 2 foes. Rex would concur. Indeed. Actually, let me see. What's the passive investigation? 16. I would say it's enough to at the very least indicate that these guys, there's something off with them at least. But an investigation role would need to be made and declared for it to go further. Alright. Alright. Alrighty, so that's what I'm gonna do. So, what time is it right now? Okay. Alright, so for this, because they know that it's that these guys are off on something, I'm gonna say that the DC would normally be like 15, but I am gonna go with that 13 at least. And let me see here. Actually, this would be a medicine check if I'm not mistaken. So let's do that instead. Medicine, which is not exactly a proficient skill, but it makes more sense because there's now biology. Alright, so let's see here. I fucking hate this. Why the fuck am I rolling high? Alright, so... Alright, so... Upon examination of the two... Upon examination of the two humanoids... Let's see here. What is the tough's descriptor? Because that way I could at least make a frame of reference. As well as attach what the... Yeah, so... Toughs. My work in groups, direction leader. Individual toughs. My bully weaker folk doing what they say. Belligerents, laborers. Tough rely on physical strength to intimidate. Brawny, crowded. Okay. Is this supposed to be like a bandit, or... I really don't know, because they don't really just, because it looks human, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like something else. Alright, but because these guys ate the food... Alright. Upon examination of two humanoids, there are telltale signs... of their strength passively being augmented from consuming something, as their physiques and stature are scrawny. Because that's what it says, like scabby, I think. Yeah, scabby. So, yeah, so it's scrawny and scabby. Let's go with. It would seem that best viewers, bot. Alright. It would seem that whatever boosted their strength came from whatever it is it was. Alright. It would seem whatever it is that boosted their strength came from whatever it was they consumed. And I will, let me see here. Does Xander have anything to... No, not in this case at least. Well, actually, maybe. No. Huh. You know what? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Maybe I should have swapped these roles a bit because I feel like Xander doesn't really get much skill check stuff right now. Which is something I do want to at the very least integrate because these two are meant to be a pair. Not long term, more like, think kind of like interchangeable because there's going to be like other characters. For crying out loud, I will remark this right now. I've created like, ignore these two because these are for my personal stuff. Or my personal games because other people are DMing. But specifically for this venture, I did create like 6 total characters. And yeah. So yeah, I'm using like 6 characters, and these are characters that are gonna be like interchangeable between Rex and, you know, someone else, pretty much. So the only consistent character that will be here is Rex, but anyone else is going to be like filling the role. I will say this, that at some point they will all coalesce and, you know, work together in a group of 4. I will still break them down to duos as to at the very least streamline the stories. So pretty much think like Rex is like both, I guess, the point of perspective we're looking at this from, as well as like who's spearheading the entire venture. So that's what we're working with, I will say. All right, so back to this. So I want to, at the very least, without metagaming like more directly, I do want to maybe try and figure out if they've got food on them, which obviously the venture doesn't say. The book obviously doesn't say that, like, oh, finding it, if you kill them, there's got like food on them or something, but yeah. Maybe they ate all of it, so yeah. For the time being, though, it would seem that whatever it was that boosted their strength came from what they consumed. Alright. Alright, investigation check again. With, at this point, Rex being the highest. Yeah, being the highest in this regard. So, let's roll it. Actually, This combat venture, let me see, took like 4 rounds? 5 if we're gonna do the finisher attempt as well. So that's about 30 seconds, so that's like a minute, or half a minute rather. So there's no need to do a short rest just yet, but we will do another investigation check. Let's see here. Rerolling on duplicates. So let's see here. Each encounter. I'm going to say if there's going to be a second encounter, it is going to be where Rex will level up. So that's where I'm going to declare that. If not, then he's just going to like whatever. He's going to remain at level 1 for that time frame. But yeah. So let's do this. Investigation DC is 15 per the book. And it is a 22, so we did succeed on that now. Okay, so, on a 22. On a successful beating of DC 15 investigation check, on a successful check, they will find clues that will lead them to Gaunt's lab, which is now... Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, so... Gaunt's lab, which is accessible by an overgrown shed. Oh shit, I just realized we did it. There was a map for this, wasn't there? Yeah. Fuck. Alright, shit. Alright, whatever. This is the map that I guess that would have been used, but shit, I think I might have accidentally done this wrong. Whatever, you know, what can you do, I guess. Let's see here. So, investigation, check, encounter. Alright, so we'll just say that for this duration, that they found the location and they'll still have to do another. I'm gonna lower the DC so that way that at the very least we could keep this going. But yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna waive the DC then, and just say that this is the location that they found. Although additional rolls will definitely give more insight as to what's been going on here. Alright, I'm just gonna put down this DC 16. Give me a sec. I gotta check on something real quick. Alright. Alright. After searching around for a short while, after searching around for a short time, Rex and Xander find a location that Gaunt is staying at. Alright, so after a short time, Rex and Xander will find the location that Gaunt is staying at. So this is where they're at. I should remark I am using most of the time DM maps just because I get to see it, but as a player, of course, I wouldn't really interact much with it unless I explicitly say it. Alright, so we'll say that they're coming from the... Yeah, they're coming from the south. No, wait, coming from the north makes a bit more sense from this geographical look. So, the two arrive finally at Gaunt's place. It doesn't look like much, obviously, from the outset. It looks to be abandoned, as if nobody's been home for some time. In fact, they're kind of unsure if this is the right area. With the 22, though. Yeah, but with the 22 that Rex had previously, there are foot traffic. There's foot traffic that seems to deviate from this road and onto the grass, where it seems to be at least disturbed. I'll say for the sake of brevity that the grass here is tall, and there's like a few bent, there's like, it's kind of subtle, where it's like kind of bent, as well as like a path is kind of sort of been made. Not one that's obvious, but if you like squint and, look at it a bit, you could see it as well as Declare. It's like if you see like a row of grass and it's like a few disturbed patches, it's like kind of sort of seems like nothing. But then when... Give me a second, I'm getting a phone call. Apologies about that phone call. Alright, so, as I was saying. So yeah, pretty much, because it's like, kind of like fairly tall grass, you get to see like a few patches disturbed, but then like, here, it's kind of sort of like there's like an effort to not disturb it, but there's still signs where it's been fairly disturbed, I'll say. So yeah. Alright. So Rex would motion to Xander about that house, and he would be like, "Are you sure?" Yeah, so are you sure? And Rex would pretty much respond, fairly certain. If you want someone to be hidden, nowhere else to hide than here. Why not just set up a camp? Why would you set up a camp when you have a perfectly stable structure here? Suppose that's fair. Alright. It's probably not as snide as it sounds. It's more like, why would you want to set up a camp when you already have like a perfectly good building there, huh? Alright, but yeah. Alright, Rex would point towards the abandoned structure nearby. Alright, so, agrees to investigate. There we go. Alrighty, so, now that we've got... Alright, so now that we got this all squared away, let's mosey on along. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be something here, but yeah, for the most part. Yeah. So... yeah, realistically, if there was anything here, like, give me a sec to... where's my ping tool, damn it? Fuck. Damn it, where's my ping? I gotta know where my ping is. Jeez. Here it is. So if there's like anything that's like here, it's not likely to be that I would know at this point. Like there's a tripwire or something. So yeah, Rex and Xander will look. The two will enter. The two will enter the structure and find the top mostly abandoned and empty. However, as they walk, they disturb the ground, and as they move, they reveal what is underneath and see a trap door. I legitimately don't know if there's like more supposed to be here in this house, or maybe I fucked up in this. But yeah. Alrighty, let's get the map here. Let's see, where's the Adventures in Faerun source book? Fucking paid for this. Alright, Gaunt Slab, here we go. Okay, alrighty. Well, actually, before they descend down, this would actually be a perfect opportunity for a short rest. So I'm just going to put down their tokens first. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put down their tokens. Alright, here we go. So as the two, so the two will, of course, not be on the entrance the moment they fucking, take the short rest. But they're gonna pretty much move a good distance away, observe it, and take that short rest. So, alright, so that's where we'll do that. In this case, see here. Alright. 10 HP. And here... Oh my god, that's just miserable. 7 HP, yay. Full health. I'm trying to remember, do I get... Oh wait, that's right. I'm trying to remember. Humans, they get the heroic inspiration, I think, upon long rest. I forgot about that. That's an actual thing, by the way. And they took a long rest a while ago, so... Technically, yeah. Heroic inspiration varies for a variety of reasons. Character, entertaining, heroic inspiration. For example, humans start each day with heroic inspiration. Alright, so... What can I use this inspiration? What can I use inspiration for? Yeah, it's probably like a lot of stuff. Anyway, Alright, let's see here. Let's roleplay quickly the downtime short rest. So as the two are short resting... Rest for a moment. Rex and Xander talk to each other. So, let's see here. Who shall initiate the conversation first, real quick? Because this is now... Alright, so who shall initiate the conversation? Evens for Rex, odds for Xander. Odds for Xander, okay. Xander starts with... Okay. So, Rex, why have you taken to leaving your home so suddenly? No, actually, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Give me a sec. Yeah, so Rex, why is it that you've taken to adventuring? Well, it's... I don't know, to be honest. You don't know? Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. Grew up listening to all these stories, hearing the great stories of all these heroes from yonder and past and all that. I suppose it started with that first story I was told by my matron. What was it? It was about the naked barbarian. You know that? You know that one? I can't say I do. Yeah, it's about some woman in Neverwinter facing against the Wailing Death. Her story goes that she came to Neverwinter looking for adventure and looking to resolve the Wailing Death. And they say that she did it without wearing any bit of clothing or armor. The only thing she had on her was like a litany of accessories, as well as a cape and an axe, and a begrudging half-orc following her steps. It is said that she was friends with, what was her name? The Paladin of Tyr. It escapes me for the time being. But it says that she was friends with her until her final days, even when she became a blackguard herself. Gotta say, that one was a kicker for me. And kinda sorta why I guess I started adventuring, too. That's quite the story. Huh. Can't say my reason was the same. Why did you become a paladin and decide to venture beyond by yourself? Well, it's a bit more complicated for me. Let's just say that my life to this point hasn't been by my own volition, and that it's only recently that I became a paladin. especially sworn to oath. Really? If I might ask, what oath might that be? One that ensures that the fallen are heard. Nothing more to know than that. Alright then. I won't press further. But you look at the time. Should get going then. Yes. Let's begin the descent. And the two would break. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna write this down instead real quick. So I'll start with asking... Yeah. So it's likely that if you haven't watched me before, but I am referring to a lot of things that I've done in my playthrough in D&D's games. Specifically, that one for Wailing Death is obviously Neverwinter Nights. And that was when I was playing a barbarian known as Xenothel, who I challenged myself to play, if possible, naked. It was a pain in the ass, but hell, it was fun. All right. Alright. Rex would ask Xander the same question, and his answer. Alright, so now the two begin the descent into Gaunt's lab. Let me see here. Anything I should prepare now? Alright, so I will declare before we fully kick off for this section that during this short rest that the arcane recovery will be used. So arcane recovery will be used in exchange for mage armor, to which currently, let's see here. Let's see here. Mage armor becomes 13 plus dex, so that's 17. Yeah. Alright, so yeah. Mage armor is now used in exchange for the arcane recovery. Alright, so yeah, there we go. Now we got something going on. So, let's see what does the chapter say. see here. Okay, so I'm actually studying this real quick, making sure everything is up to par. Alright, and this is the... Okay. Alright, so let's do it like this then. Let me get the stage ready. So let me just... Alright, I will first get the acolyte. See, what was the... I'm trying to remember. It was like specifically for... Oh, there we go. Mage Apprentice. There we go. There we go. Mage Apprentice. That's the one I'm looking for. So, Mage Apprentice... So that's the sheet for the Mage Apprentice, and then we have the ooze. Specifically the psychic ooze, I think. The gray ooze, yeah? Yeah, okay, here we go. Obviously they're not going to see it until they enter in. Let me see. Is there any descriptor as to how it is? Just a single psychic ooze. Alright. Alright, so. Rex and Xander. Descend downward into the depths of the abandoned structure. I'm going to assume with the ooze chasm that there's going to be an acrid smell, so there is a acrid smell in the air. There's an acrid smell in the air, and it's pungent. Alright, so they go down, so that's what's going on. So they go down. They make a few comments here and there. It's like, oh, it's getting stronger as we getting closer. Ugh, what the hell is all this? And the two see all this. They soon see a room with... Alright, so they soon see a room with all this, like... Because it's gray, I'm trying to best describe this. How do you describe, like, a wet, secrety surface type of thing is what I'm thinking right now. Because that's the best way I can describe. Because if it's, like, all camouflage, it's, like, glossy and sheeny, and then you got, like, the smell, too. Assuming the psychic, assuming the psychic, thing here has, like, a smell attached to it. Yeah, so as they go down further, they soon see a room with a shiny surface. As if As if something was secreted, yeah. Into the room. I would say from where Xander notes, from this angle, from at least coming in as well, that nearby seems to be a trash room. That's near... But I will say, with Rex being in proximity to possibly this puddle, he is curious and will utilize his dagger to, I guess, like, take a sliver of it. Alright, so let's see here. So in this case, because currently they've not approached the gray ooze, so this surface, because it's like all shiny and slick, is what I'm gonna say. Like, if you see these puddles above game, I'm gonna declare that these things here are like viscous type things. So like, so you got like all sorts of like shiny surfaces and what have you. So as Rex takes a sample of it, he will roll an investigation attempt. Actually, what would this be, actually? Ah, man. Yeah, sure. Investigation attempt. I will declare this DC to be 14. So I'm declaring this 14, so let's see if Rex passes it. And he does not! Oof. Alright, it's enough to get a texture, at the very least explain the texture a bit more, but nothing else other than that. Investigation. Fail. As Rex examines the sample he picks up, he notes that the texture itself is not unusual. As Rex examines the sample he picks up, he notes the texture itself is unusual and strange, but can't put as to why or how. That's the... Because it's like kind of close, he's got like, it's like on the tip of his tongue type of thing, but he doesn't know it. He can't describe the texture. It's kind of like honey, but no. Honey isn't this viscous. Alright, so... Xander will step forward as Rex wipes the sample off both his dagger and finger as he was like fondling it, right? And as Xander approaches, I'm gonna say within like, as Rex is now soon following here. Alright, so as these two are approaching, the gray ooze, let me see, what can it do? Alright, let me see here. Give me a second, another phone call. Alright, apologies. Let me check something real quick. Alrighty, okay, so. For fuck's sakes. Let me double check something real quick. Okay. My audio is working. Alright, so. Let me see, what can it do? Because I do want to at the very least have a surprise round, at least. Can it make a grapple check is what I'm gonna ask now. It's got 10 feet movement, right? It's a melee attack as well. Huh. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna try and do at least. So, as Xander is stepping forward, the gray ooze that was laying in wait here without them knowing will then like effectively lunge out, yeah? Surprising the two of them, and will begin combat. Alright. Give me a sec, alright? Here we go. No, the Mage Apprentice isn't here right now. Alright, so yeah, the Mage Apprentice isn't here right now, so... Alright, so... Surprise round, baby! Alright, let's see here. So yeah, surprise round. So this thing will, if I'm not mistaken, for the rules as written at the very least, D&D has like, give me a sec actually, because you're not fucking whatever. Let me just start over again. So let me just... So pretty much the way that this works is that disadvantage, advantage, start, and then afterwards then it also has, because it's a surprise round, it does also have advantage on its attacks. So, yeah. Let's see here. So, corrosive and amorphous form. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, so this thing has advantage on its attack. Ooh, and that definitely fucking hits. Holy shit. For 11 points of damage. Ooh! Alright, 11 points of damage. Okay. Oh boy, that hurts like a bitch and a half. Alright, so the Grey Ooze will also inflict, it also corrodes its defenses right now, so, oh boy, that is just terrible. I'm gonna say that the shield suffered the corrosion first, so that, because it's the first line of defense in this regard. And now, again, it's got the... Alright, now this is the full term proper, so let me just, real quick. Alright. Combat start. Rex is at HP 8. Xander, HP at the start was 25. Ooze. 22. I really should read up on the surprise round ruling, because I'm still working off of like 2014, the way that it's done, and it's fucking 2014's a bitch and a half. Alright, surprise round. Alright, so Xander has been hit. Currently he's at 14. And now it's its turn again. So it will continue to attempt to attack. This time it will be without advantage. So it's just gonna be a straight roll. 8. Oh wait, I'm trying to remember. I think I heard that the way surprise round works is that it's still just like round 1, but they, and I think it's just like, never mind. Let's just stick with what I got right now, because from time being, I don't want to have to go through all the ruling on stream, so I'll read up on that on my own time. So. Alright, so the ooze would attempt to attack Xander, but Xander would dodge out of the way. Rex would fire a firebolt. Yeah, so would fire a firebolt. So this is without him knowing that there's they have resistance right now. So this is perfect. This fits perfectly right now. So let's see here. 24 to hit for 7 points of damage. I'm trying to remember the. Yeah. Okay. So. Alright, so the ooze would boil and then afterwards cool immediately. So let me see here. Because it has resistance to fire. How does resistances work again? Shit. Oh, fuck. I'm really trying to remember. I know it's like something around like you cut the damage in half, but I'm trying to remember if it's like round down kind of thing. I think it is supposed to be rounded down. So I'm going to go with that denomination that it's supposed to be rounded down. So that means this thing takes 3 damage. Alright. Alright, Xander's turn. Alright, Xander's turn. So he would do as he normally would. Reacting to this, he would attack with his sword. For 10 points of slashing. Does it have resistance to slashing? No. Does it have any, let me double check. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything about it that says that it would corrode weapons. Or maybe that's how it works. I don't know, because I'm really trying to remember that. I'm trying to remember that part. Let me double check the monster sheet if it has anything like that. Corrosive form. Immediately. Ah, there it is. Okay, here it is. So, yeah, there it goes. Yep. Look at that. So now, alright, now the sword has been corroded as well. Xander would slash the ooze as he drags the blade. He sees it corrode. In its form. Alrighty, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let me see, I should probably, see... -1... There we go. Alrighty, yeah. Alright, round 2. Here we go. Let's see, does the slime have... let me double check. Does it have... No, it does not. Okay. The slime is a base creature, so it will attempt to attack... It will attempt to attack Xander again. Let's see, does he... Ooh, he does hit. Yeesh. For 8 points of damage! Fuck! Look at that. 8 points of damage, baby, and as well as a decrease to the... I'm gonna say at this point, the shield is now busted now. Yeah, so the shield is now gone. Alright, so, yeah, the shield is now corroded and unusable now. Yes, there we go. So this shield effectively doesn't exist, but I'm going to keep it on just in case for later. So I can make a note of it. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh wait, did I not factor in the damage that it took before? Ah, there we go. So let's see here, 10. Alright, it's Rex's turn now. Oh, hold on. Alright, it's Rex's turn now. So, upon seeing his firebolt fail, let's see here. This is a bit of a gambit, but I am... no, maybe. Would he know about it, though? Let's see here. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. So, Rex, upon seeing the ooze pretty much tank his firebolt, will now go up around the corner, or turn from where Xander is, and will pretty much... Let's see, how does this spell work? Because obviously it's an action, right? Let me see here. Range, self, and 5 feet. Creature must... a 5 foot emanating from you. A 5 foot spear. Let me see. So how does this... Let me see. How would this work? Oh, that's perfect, I think. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So where the gray ooze is, pretty much, Rex will pull out his arcane focus and pretty much slam his hand onto it and will make a thunderclap. So let's roll the damage. Ah, it's bullshit. Alright, we'll cast Thunderclap. So this thing will need to make a Constitution 14 save throw. To which this thing has got a fairly decent... let me see here. Where's the... Here it is. Save, save, save. Let's see. Oh! It fails! That's a surprise. That is a surprise indeed and in thought. And it will also use a reaction to do... What was it? It's got reactions, I know it. Oh no, this is the normal Grey Ooze. Alright, so... The Psychic Grey Ooze specifically... yeah. So, Mind Corrosion. Here we go. So, as a reaction, it will... as a reaction, it will backlash out at Rex 1d6 worth of psychic damage. Okay, let's see here. 4. Ooh, that's half his fucking health! Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, and also, along with that, because, if I'm not mistaken, because Thunderclap emits a sound, it is 100 feet, which... Yeah, let me just... Alright, let me see here, because we still got, like, more to... Alright, so let's... Alright, so for the sake of brevity, let's assume that Thunderclap is... like, localized here, yeah? But the sound itself is 100 feet, so... Let's use a ruler instead. Yep. That would have pretty much been anything within this radius, pretty much. It's not relevant now, but for later context, it will definitely be relevant. Alright, Xander's turn. Alright, so Xander will then... This is now his thing now. So... Alright, so Xander will now then follow up with another attack. And as this slime is not looking too good... Let's see here. 12... it's 9. So, 9 armor class. Yep, same thing. So, it'll hit... Nope, sorry. It'll hit, so let's see the damage. 12. Alright, so, Xander risking his blood... Alright. Xander slicing into it will let out a wail and Alright, so this Grey Ooze, as pretty much it's taken like 12 points of damage, is now effectively dead. So, combat's over. Alrighty. Alright, let me see here. I do have this idea of having more going on as well, but I think because currently the characters are too low level for that, it would kind of sort of be a cock move to do that, you know? So I'm not gonna... So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that for this level, because I would have the idea of at the very least like doing more slimes are emerging out, but because we're actually maybe who knows? Let me. All right, first let's do this though. So as the ooze dies, Rex and Xander, a heavy sigh. Using the radiant Alright, using the radiant light that healed Xander will restore the two of them. Alright, so yeah. So yeah, Rex will Xander will use 4 charges on lay on hands to restore. So 4 charges is lay on hands, as well as, let me see here. The remaining charges on him, so yeah. There's no more lay on hands now. It's all gone. Alrighty, so yeah. Alright, so yay! Alright, so now that the two are now healed as much as they can, the two of them will walk. However, unbeknownst to them, this scuffle was also heard. That thunderclap at 100-foot radius hearing. And so, unbeknownst to them, while they're walking away from the ooze chamber, and them going to the laboratory, alongside them, the person they're looking for is walking too. So real quick before we press forward. Alright, I'm now thinking to myself, let me see here. Let's spice things up a little bit, shall we? If I could. Now, the question is now to Fate. Should I or should I not do what I thought of doing? So, odds for yes, evens for no. Evens for no. Okay, well. The Fates have spoken! No. Alright, fine. Be that way, game. Alright. So, as they continue forward, as they take a labored breath. Alright, so they continue onward as they take a labored breath. They open the door eastward. And see a laboratory. As they enter, so too does another. So let's see here. So Rex will be the one to open the door first this time, as Xander follows in. However, at the same time, The person that they were looking into, let me see their name, Gaunt, right? The person they were looking for, Aligar Gaunt, the halfling alchemist, who is very tall looking for a... was very tall looking for a... for an alchemist. It's the halfling... Alright, so it's the halfling apprentice, or the halfling alchemist they were looking for, despite the fact that it's not really the... Despite the fact that it's not really the halfling. Alright, let's just roll with it. So as the two enter into the laboratory, they too also investigate, see another person enter from the outset of this laboratory. They hear him mumbling to himself, what in blazes is that noise? And then he sees Rex and Xander standing from where the slime from the ooze chamber was. He points to them in disbelief. He's like, who are you? What are you doing? My slime. You killed my pet project. Why are you here? Never mind. I will make my escape. You'll never take me. And then he will just attempt to make his escape, to which, at this point, this is where we now initiate... This is now we properly initiate this is now we initiate both chase and combat. So let's do this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's just go with what the numbers are given. Whew. Alrighty. Alright. Alrighty. Let's see here. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to this one, because it's like 2 characters only. Arcane Burst, Ranger Melee. Shit. Trying to think. Is there any way you could, like, dumb down the... I'm gonna play this guy to be like a rat kind of thing, you know? Yeah, I'm just gonna play him up to be a bit of a rat, trying to, like, escape. Alright, so... Let's see here. Rex... HP 8... Xander... 17, and then Gaunt... 49. Alright, so, round 1. Oh boy, this is not going to end well. Rex upon seeing Gaunt. Would throw magic. Let's see. Alright, so let's see here. So, I think it would probably be somewhat clear that he's both an alchemist and a spellcaster type character, right? So I'm trying to think here. So, Rex will... Let's see here. How much distance does it take to... Oh boy. Oh boy. I gotta double check. Does at this level does no, I don't think he does he? Because I'm remembering specifically that yeah, I'm remembering specifically for the for Vengeance Paladins, they have Misty Step access, but that's not until like higher levels, right? So, okay. Alright, so back to Rex. So, Rex will... Yeah, let's be a bit more... Let's be a bit more of a show... Let's be a showy person, shall we? So Rex, upon seeing Gaunt, will move the full movement. And from, let me see here, I think this should be a... Ooh, I think it's with disadvantage at this point, right? At this distance, he will throw one of his daggers at Gaunt. And again, this is with disadvantage. So let's see here. 21... 14... Alrighty. Alright, so let's see here. I want Gaunt to be more or less like a bit more less on the offense and more like trying to use the environment this time, because he's the type, I feel like this guy, you know, with these stats, he's gonna fucking... Yeah, so, let me see here. Let me see, what can... I'm gonna say that at the very least, the door here is gonna be shut closed. So if he's trying to escape... Yeah, it's like right here. If he's gonna try to escape, he's gonna try and like shoot his way out. And then afterwards he'll focus on the... Yeah, and then he'll focus on it. He's, like I said, I'm gonna do rat tactics type of thing. So, as Gaunt is about... yeah, so as Gaunt is pretty much effectively going to... He's pretty much gonna blast the door open, right? So he's gonna, let's see here, roll. That's a dirty 20, right? And 17 damage. So, I don't know what the description for the door is. I assume at the very least it's going to be made of wood. So, very much easily, Gaunt is going to blow the door open. Alright. So let me see here. So it's full 30 movement. And because he used his action already, he's not going to be able to move any further than here. So that would mean it's Xander's turn. Alright. Alright, so it's going to be Xander's turn, to which he's going to run up to intercept. Alright, round 2. Alright, so this is where we're going to get a bit more fucking hilarious. Rex, seeing Gaunt attempting to escape, will Okay, this is... Alright, let's see here. This is probably not gonna pan out well, but let's see. Alright, let's see here. Let me double check the ruling here. How does... I'm trying to see here. I'm double checking something because I got Tavern Brawler on the... Let's see here. Oh boy. Alright, you know what? This is what I'm going to do instead. Grapple check. To which I'm pretty sure... So proficiency plus strength. So that's a 10. And I have 12. Oh boy, so he needs to beat a DC 12 grapple check. Okay. Actually, fuck. I'm really trying to remember because I know that 2014's version of Tavern Brawler has the feature of has the feature of being the extra grapple thing, right? But it doesn't say at the very least here. It says push. Yeah, push it away from you. So, and damage reroll as well. Let me double check. You know, yeah, so yeah, 2024's Tavern Brawler doesn't have it. So Rex will rush after him and attempt, let me see. And we'll grapple him. Okay. Let's see here. So what is it I need to do for a grapple check? Must choose Dex or Strength save throw. Whichever. So I guess in theory this would also be athletics. Huh, let me see. This is a bit unorthodox, but I think I'm going to try the unarmed strike. See how that fares. It's probably not going to do well, though. Let's see. Yep, I didn't expect much in the first place. Alright, so again, rat tactics. Gaunt will disengage. Alrighty, so let's see here. Let me double check the writing real quick, just to make sure. Alright, so, yeah. So because he disengaged, so how it works is pretty much he pretty much loses his action. However, can only move up to here, I believe. Only up to here, I think. So, yeah, like that. Cloudy Siren says, "Hi, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope you the same as well." Alright, so as Gaunt is attempting to flee, Xander Xander will, upon seeing the rat trying to flee his ship, will declare this. Let me see if... Yep. Alright. So as Gaunt is nearby, Xander will declare... Yep. Alright, so we'll declare loudly. I'm trying to think, what is the most insulting thing you could say to an alchemist, of all things, you know? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, let's go with this. Vile miscreant, taking advantage of people's poor disposition. You will fall and face justice. Let's go with that. Alright, so Vow of Enmity was declared now. So now, whatever happens next, Xander has advantage on... Yeah, has advantage on, Yeah, he's got advantage on him. So I think it's like Channel Divinity, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check, because it has been a hot minute since I used... Yep. Alright. So the Vow of Enmity has now been declared, and there's still movement to be had. Is there any... No way, I think it's until... Oh wait, when you take the attack action... Okay, I see. Okay, so I need to first take the attack action first then. So, yeah, no, back then, the way it worked in 2014, the way I'm using it, it's pretty much like this. So, pretty much... if I'm reading this right. Yep, so Vow of Enmity, and this is with advantage. And I declare Smite. Alright, so that's gonna hit. Thank you. Well, today's going well. How's your story unfolding? I have no idea, as for the most part, I'm chasing after a rat alchemist in the form of a mage apprentice, so yeah. Let's see here. Cast, and then radiant. 8 points of damage. Yeah, there we go. So let's see here. 9, 8. I think that's 17. If I'm not... Yeah, it's 17. 32 points of health. Alright, so... let me see. He also used his bonus action for that as well. Yeah, so, alright. Let me see here. It's pretty cool, yeah. Alright, so... Yeah, no, there's no bonus actions he can have. Alright, so there's no bonus actions to be had, so now it's properly the new turn. So, upon seeing Gaunt attempting to escape, Rex will now have to resort to more lethaler means and hope that Xander won't kill him. Alright. Alright, so round 3. Yeah, at this point now it's a matter of hoping to God that we could slow him down. Alright, so final casting of magic missile. So let's see here. 3, 4, 4. Okay, so 8. I think that's 11. Yeah. 11 points of damage inflicted onto Gaunt. Yeah. Okay. So. All right. All right. So let's see here. We still have movement action left, so move the full. Yeah. So move the full movement now. So I think it's up to here. Yeah. Let's, for the sake of brevity, let's do this instead. Okay, so with Gaunt surrounded now, how logical and how smart is he right now that he thinks he could get out of this? Because right now he's got Arcane Burst. I will. Let's see here. Let's see. How smart is he in this scenario? Is what I'm gonna ask. And if it's a high roll, he's going to be smart and try to attack. If it's a low roll, he will continue to try and flee. That's my declaration right now. Let's see here. And this will be a straight roll. 13. So the baseline would have been 10. So he would be somewhat smart in trying to attack. And with the paladin hot in his tail, he would be smart enough to try and take him down at least. So let's see if he can try and hit at this proximity. Ooh, and he does not hit. Alright, so, you know, has anyone watched ESO's High Rock trailer? You know how the High Lord pretty much, like, fucking decks the Altmer Ranger? Pretty much imagine that, but instead of, like, decking him straight in the face, it's, like, straight up deflecting it, or just redirecting Gaunt's hand to shoot elsewhere. Alright, so alright, he's gotta move, because if he stays, he knows for certain he's gonna die. So there's a chance that he could get away, so let's do that. Oh. So the two of them will take an attack of opportunity now. And with Xander having a fairly high chance of getting him, let's see. 14. 23. Nice. Alright. For 13. Shit. 13 points of damage. Flee again. Alright, let's see here. Rex. Alright, let's see here. Rex will utilize... He doesn't have any weapons on hand, so what he'll do is instead Tavern Brawler strike him. Let's see here. Oh my fucking god. Seriously? Yeah! Yeah, okay! Oh, Jesus. Oh my fucking god, and it's the maximum damage too. Are you fucking kidding me? May as well also apply the shove too. So, as Xander slashes at at Gaunt, fucking Rex. Fuck. So as Xander slashes Gaunt's back, Rex will then fucking cold stone fucking just throw a right hook into Gaunt, and while doing so, effectively pushes him back 5 foot. So pretty much this is his direction. He goes like here, 15 feet. Then when he meets Rex, he fucking just gets punched straight in the face, forcing him into the cage. He stumbles back and is trying his damnedest to like get away, as he's like oh god, fucking handsiest fucking wizard you'll ever see. Oh my god. Oh, that is so funny. Jesus Christ. That's so fucking funny. It's Xander's turn now. Oh, jeez. Alrighty. So, Xander, just like, as fucking Gaunt is stumbling and trying to like make his way back because Rex just like literally knocked his shit out. Let's see here. Will Xander follow up? Because he technically does have advantage, and this one will be just an unarmed strike now to knock him out. Let's see here. Let's see if he gets a crit. No, okay. They both hit anyway. Alright, so this is with bludgeoning, and so this is unarmed strike, so... And so with that being done, he's now, effectively now, the Gaunt is out cold. That's so funny, though. Fucking... God is just like, wait, I got spell casting. Nope. Oh shit, I gotta get out of here. Oh, my back. Oh, did you just punch me in the face? Oh, fucking knockout. Okay, so Xander falls after and knocks out Gaunt. Alright, there we go. Just punch the face. Knockout. RKO'd. The end. Alright, that ends combat. Jeez. So now... Alright, so... Alright, so... Gaunt is now knocked out on the floor. Alright, let's see here. Alright, Rex and Xander look as Gaunt lies on the floor, out cold. His attempt to escape and continue whatever mad research he was doing here has seemingly ended for the time being. Let me see here. Let me double check, because I know that... Damn it, I could have sworn there was like manticles or something on one of them at least. Oh wait, no, I think that was a different character. Oh no, there it is. Ah, there we go. Manticles. There we go. Old school. Old school and all that. And while we're at it, so as Gaunt is now out cold, and I believe with his spellcasting stuff, they did require. I'm not sure if it required verbal spells or anything, but yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna say that he does. He did require verbal. Yeah, he did require like verbal incantations. So, as the fight now comes to an end, Xander pulls out a set of manticles and clasps them across onto Gaunt's wrists. Along with that, Rex, as he is also a spellcaster, would also note to Xander, maybe you should also put a rope around his mouth and around his fingers to prevent him from doing any more incantation. And while Xander is, at first, like, is that necessary? Rex would assure that because the mantles he's at, because spellcraft or spellcasters can be tricky, this might be the only reliable way they can, at the very least, ensure that he doesn't try to escape. So that's what we'll do. All right. Alright, to ensure that Rex recommends to Alright, so yay! Gaunt is captured now, and now he's currently just being held up here for the time being. And just bring him back in here. So, now this brings us back to the laboratory itself. So it says here, lab notes and equipment can be used to create an antidote and fertilizer. So we'll just do that. So, as the two return to the laboratory, Rex, being the more intelligent of the two, will take his time to examine and look through over Gaunt's notes. For the most part, a lot of it is a bunch of let me see here. How do I want to further characterize? Just ignore that. So how do I want to further categorize? Let me see here. Alright, so let's roll a D100 for personality. See what we get out of it. 21. Cold. Alright, so a lot of the notes that are found here with the writing and the way they're detailed is with cold attached logic. It seems as though that Gaunt fancied himself to be someone with cold hard reasoning, although that clearly didn't hold up when he was confronted by two people looking for him. So after going through all the notes as well as even piecing together what was used in the fertilizer, in time, eventually a antidote to the fertilizer was found and developed. Alright, as the two Alright, so as the two notes, the notes, chronologic they were. Let me see here. Alright, so let's see here. So, yeah, it was created in a fairly short time. We'll just say that it was made in a short time. It doesn't say that there's any, like, treasures or anything here. So, there's not like there's anything that's useful. Let me just peer on over to the other... Yeah, because I'm looking over some of the other stuff right now, and I want to make sure. Okay. Alright, then. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like there's anything... Well, obviously, for the other adventures, it's a bit more different, but yeah. Give me a sec. Alright. And note how chronologic they were. After going over the notes repeatedly, an antidote was found and made in a short time. Rex and Xander. Alright, so this is pretty much now the end of this actual adventure part, it seems, because it doesn't say that there's anything more here. There's like a few traps, but it doesn't seem like in terms of anything else, there's like really anything here, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's like any notes of like loot or anything other than like the psychic gray oozes. Or the psychic gray ooze, singular. But yeah, so outside of that, that's really about it, I guess. So, yeah, so Rex and Xander would return to Humble Hill with both the antidote and gaunt in hand. As the two return, the townsfolk are seemingly wary at first, but as they see them coming into town, they begin to notice that they both have gaunt in hand, and all of them are like gathering around. They're like they're all confused. Like, hey, isn't that the merchant that sold us the fertilizers? Like, what's he doing here? Like, oh, what the hell? Upon entering the longhouse, the sister Leanna would be tending to some of the ill locals, and and there she would turn to see Rex and Xander and see Gaunt. Xander would throw Gaunt onto the floor, and at that point in time, because he was knocked out, Gaunt would be stirring back to consciousness, and would be at that moment he like fully's awake. He's like, Gaunt like looks around like confused, like, just like trying to struggle to get out. Xander would be the first to speak in this situation and say, "We found the source of your problem, sister. This alchemist had tampered with the soil. Really? Is that so? So you're the source of all the problems here in Humble Hill." This might, and Rex would come in and just like and produce the vial and present it to Sister Leanna and say, "This should resolve any issues with the soils." This was based off the notes and a counter to the magic growth he presented to the locals should be. Yeah. So yes, this tonic should resolve any any abnormalities and whatever he brought on with the fertilizer. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Sister Leanna would say, like, "Oh, well done, well done, you two. I admit I had my doubts when I saw just the two of you, but seeing the results, it's hard to deny the efficiency of it, at least. All the same, with this, would you mind being a dears and staying for a while? Make sure at the very least that everything goes smoothly." And the two, and both Rex and Xander, would agree to that request. So let me just write this out now. Alright, Rex and Xander would find Sister Leanna. Would present both the remedy to the fertilizer and Gaunt himself. Alright. And Sister... Alright, so Sister Leanna would ask if you two would be so kind as to stay and watch over the town with me. That'd be wonderful. Would stay. Rex and Xander would stay for the next week, as Humble Hill... Humble Hill's problems resolved. Rex and Xander would stay the next week at Humble. Would stay for the next week as Humble Hill's problems would resolve. Crops would begin to sprout again. The locals who were sick began to recover, with Xander and Leanna aid, and the livestock will be tended once again. The livestock would be tended to once again. Alrighty. As Rex and Xander are about to leave, Sister Leanna gives them their payment of 100 GP. gives them their payment of 100 GP, along with... Let's see here. How much would a... Let me see. What's the challenge rating on a... What's the challenge rating on a, apprentice? Oh, shit. I think I fucking got up too high. Too high! Too high! Alright, let me see here. What's the challenge rating on a... let's see here. I just love the fact that it's using a, I just love the fact that it's using a red wizard as the token, technically. Which is, like, the worst kind. Alright, so we'll just... Alright, so CR rating 2, and the XP you would have gotten is 4450. To which, at this point, I would probably translate that to gold and knock that down to like 45 GP instead. Alright, I'm not using XP, although maybe I should. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not using XP, but maybe I should. Let me see how much. Alright, let's see here. I mean, with the previous session accounted for and everything in between, yeah, so let me double check. Yeah. 100, 100, 200, 450. So, with 2 characters, nah, let's not, for the time being, let's not use, yeah, let's not use XP, I guess, then. Not yet, I don't think. Maybe later, but then again, maybe not. For the time being, let's use Milestone, I guess. To which, at this point... Alrighty. So, yeah. So... Da-da-da-da! Level 2 now. Woo! Yay! Level 2! My god! Alrighty, so, let's see here. Alrighty, yeah! Level 2! Woo! Yeah! Sister Leanna... You... Alright. Alrighty. You two have been of great help to me and this humble town. Thank you two for your assistance. Xander and Rex would... Alright, so, Xander and Rex would split their payment as Xander speaks. It was of no consequence to help sister. It was of no consequence to help sister. I would gladly do so again. In a heartbeat. Rex would... Rex would put the coins... Alright. So Rex would put the coins into his purse before looking to the horizon. Even after, I would say, even after this adventure, Rex is still uncertain as to what it is he wants to do exactly. But now he's got a bit more of a definitive idea, and it's likely, it's more likely to help people in general as a whole. Yeah, it sounds cliche, but helping people made him feel good inside. And it wasn't just that, but also seeing other people come together and recover afterwards from this whole ordeal too. Plus, it doesn't help. Plus, it doesn't hurt to see every now and then the bad guy gets his comeuppance to get clocked in the face. So that's nice. All right. Alrighty. It was a pleasure to help, sister. To better days ahead. Alright, so that's 145 GP, so obviously that's 50. So, yeah, alright. So 50 GP, and then afterwards would be about 40... I'll just take 43... No, wait, hold on. Yeah, actually, no, hold on. It's really that simple then. Alright, 22... I believe it's 5 silver? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like 5 silver total, right? For the 0.5. Alrighty, so now, now it's the end. Xander and Rex would now leave Humble Hill and would go back on the trail that they started on oh so long ago, eh? Let me see here if I got the map. I have no idea where Humble Hill is supposed to be, so I'm just going off of like fucking nothing right now. So, let's just pretend that it was nearby, yeah? Because I don't know geography that well, and calligraphy and all that jazz. So, returning back to the main road and returning back to the main road, the two would travel for a short while until then they reached the city of Luskan, to which that is where they will depart from each other. It seems that our journey's come to an end, Rex. So it has, Xander. Where will you go? I will likely return to where I'm needed. This bounty did not just come from any bounty board, but also from within a I suppose you could say network among the other churches. I was one of the first to answer, hence why I was out alone. I see. Well, if this is the end, then this is the end. Indeed. Till, what was it you said to Sister Liana? To better days ahead? To better days ahead, friend. Hope to see you on the road. As to you, Rex, I hope to see you around soon, and not the maw of a wolf. The two would depart, and well, that's the end of this adventure and tale, for now. And yeah, that's where we're ending it off, I suppose. Not the finest work, I guess, but still. Let me put this down under the log. Alrighty. Alrighty, yeah. So, we now got... let me see here. I'm gonna do this kind of sort of like AL ruling a bit. Yeah, well actually maybe not. Let me see here. What do I got next on the mark right now? Let me see here. Let me see. What do I got? Do I have anything within the proximity of Luskan, or at the very least up north? Let's see. Where is this? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay. So the siege of Shalespire Priory. Okay. The Priory of Shalespire. I have no idea where that is again. Great. Alrighty. I guess Xander and Rex will be reuniting soon enough. But for the time being, though... let me see. Let me see, because let me read through this real quick, because I've got... A place of faithful for Lathander. So, alright. Yeah, this could work. Thing is that with Xander specifically, is that he is a Knight of the Gauntlet. So, yeah. He's a Knight of the Gauntlet. That's what his background is, as per the, yeah, so let's see here. The Order of the Gauntlet, let's see that. Alright, so Tyr, Torm, or... Alright, so I'm gonna say that... that Xander follows the creed of Torm, is what I'll say. So that's who he worships as a paladin. Well, actually, maybe Helm, because Helm is the Watcher. And at the same time, nobody likes him for some reason. It's all because he killed Mystra. It's not my fault the fact that Mystra wanted to freaking whatever. Alrighty. Alright, so now we got ourselves a second... Alright, so I'm gonna say this. We do have that there is gonna be downtime at the very least. But I'm not sure if I well, actually, maybe... I'm debating whether or not if downtime should really be a thing. At the very least, at this point. It's kind of early to declare downtime as, like... He doesn't... As, Rex doesn't exactly have a form of residency. However, it could be a way to get money passively. So there's that. I'm really trying to scratch my head right now and figure out, it's like, how do I want to... like, compose this approach now. Cause, yeah. I do want to get to level 3 sooner. That is my definitive declaration right now. I do want to get to level 3 sooner at the very least, so that way I could get more, like, text out of it. But at the same time, I do want to at the very least have to go through these adventures as is and as were. So, yeah. Alright, so the next adventure, I will say this right now, I intend to do the Siege of Shalespire Priory, as it doesn't seem like this one is... maybe it does exist on the map. Hold on, let me double check, because I have no idea, because this fucking map doesn't really... It's got like all the stuff, but it doesn't have. Yeah, it's got all the stuff here, but I'm not sure if it's got Shale's the Priory here. Maybe it's further inland. To which I'll just Kobayashi Maru and say that that because they were in Luskan, that they were able to get a teleporter up and running, but it was only one way. Or at the very least, at the time, it was like one way before being able to get like a two-way thing going on. And that was because the siege was about to happen and everything. So that's what we'll work with, I guess, if that comes to question. It's like, hey, one moment he's in Luskan, the other minute he's in the Priory. What the fuck? Alrighty. So, yeah, I guess, yeah. Next adventure, whenever that'll be, and whenever I'll kick that off, will be at the Shale Spire Priory. And that brings this session to a close, I guess. So, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this stream. If you want to see more, I'll be picking this up whenever I can, I guess. Next time I'm going to be streaming, though, like, actually definitively, I will be streaming, like, something else. Because this is something I got to read up on a little bit, it seems. And piece together, and as well as figure out what approach do I want to do. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the stream. I'll see you next one. That being likely later today, actually, maybe tomorrow. And yeah, tell them to take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon next one. And thanks for stopping by. I really do hope you enjoyed this stream because this is something that's foreign, and this is probably the only time that I've gone beyond just one parters and trying to piece together like what the fuck I'm doing. And yeah.